Hi, I'm Fred, and today I'm going to show you how to build my early game iron farm, trading hall, string farm, poppy farm. It does a lot of things and it's really easy to do. Now, unusually, I am in creative. I usually do tutorials in survival, but I've built this in survival on 3 different worlds, 3 different times in the last 3 or 4 months. I'm tired of doing it in survival, but you can do it. I did it in hardcore, I did it in a new world, I did it in a pre-existing world. You're going to need a bunch of stuff for this. So basically, you want to find a village with a good flat spot. We're going to mark out our area, which is 22 by 26. We're going to steal all the beds and the workstations. We're going to capture all the villagers in our area, and then we can finish building the farm, and they'll bring themselves up, and they'll have enough, and we'll get iron all the day long. Sounds easy, doesn't it? That's because it is easy. For this, you're going to need 20 beds, 20 workstations, like 2.5 stacks of fences, 4 lighting blocks. Jack-o'-lanterns are cheap early on. They're not absolutely necessary. They just make me feel better. Less than half a stack of blocks. You need some lava and some water, so you need a bucket. Hey, you know what comes with the village? Usually an iron golem that if you kill safely, you get 3 iron for at least. So there's your bucket. Some buttons, some signs, couple hoppers, couple chests, and if you want the string from the kitties, a couple of campfires. Those can be added in later. You also need some shovels, because the way this works is we're going to be making a bunch of path blocks. That way nothing spawns in it, i.e. golems, or, bad guys to kill our villagers. So they're relatively safe. Everything gets spawned in where we want, and we're hunky-dory. So I've already marked off the corners of this, and it is 22 across and 26 deep. Now I need to go over here and flatten some of the area. I'm going to take the dirt from that and fill in some other area. Sometimes you can find villages that are really flat. Sometimes they're not all that flat. Now, in this case, also, these are interior dimensions, so we actually want to build this one wider than that. So we want to make sure we have a flat spot that's at least, 24 by 28. And that's just because we're going to put fences around to protect them all in. We want to make sure they're all nice, safe, and snug, and that nothing can jump on them from above in this case. So we're going to clear out a little bit of this land. You can see here I'm actually going to use part of this building for the fencing because it already exists in there and it's right on the edge of our little field. So that works out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I'm using fencing for most of these walls. You can use solid blocks. Just anything that keeps the villagers in and the mobs out. We don't yet want to go ham and do all the path blocks. We do want to do it on 3 sides. The 2 shorter sides and 1 of the longer sides. The one that's not going to be your collection system. So now if you're in a new world and you're doing this, usually you won't have collected all this stuff. I just do it in to make sure I had everything. You'd go around and, as I said before, steal beds and start putting them down. So let's go steal our first bed. So I need 2 lines of 10 beds that are 2 blocks apart. And here's the important part. I need them 8 off of this. So let's find the center. This is 26 deep, so I need the 13th one. So here's this half, and I want to count up 8, including this. In fact, I want to mark it off here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our first bed goes here. Just for fun, I put myself under survival, so I can go steal all these beds and put them down. Okay, now I've stolen the rest of my beds. Let's see, that was the first one, and I want to put 4 more. 3 more for right now. We take out this spot, put in a jack-o'-lantern, put down another bed. Same thing. I don't even know what kind of beds I picked up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Break the spot, put a jack-o'-lantern. Another bed. Make sure you get all the beds. We don't want to accidentally have the village kind of stretched out. You don't have a bed. And also make sure you're finding all the houses around. I found one down the hill I didn't know was there. So then we're going to put 2 gap. And the reason I offset that is so I can put my lights at the corners again. That's on my village bed, so I need to go get a bunch more. I need to make a bunch of beds. Harvest some of the wood, find a sheep, shear them or kill them. You'll get beds in no time. You can actually keep building while you're waiting for sheep to spawn in or for their wool to grow back. This is just the outline of the bed. So we're going to put them all in and go to the next step. So the magic of creative mode, I've got all my beds in place. The next thing you need to do is choose where your collection is going to be and where your workstation is going to be, because they're right across from each other. And so in this direction, because it's closer to village, I could set up my own house in one of these buildings. I'm going to go to this point. So collection will be over on this side. And handily enough, I can mark it off because I can see the red and white bed at the center. Now what we want to do is go around collecting all of our workstations and putting them just outside of the spot we marked off. So they're going to form part of the wall. So let me grab all the workstations around here, like every single one of them. Don't forget these. Don't forget anything in the huts. Just get all the workstations you can find. Okay, then we go outside here to the middle, start placing workstations, and everyone will start running because you stole their workstations. So it's 20s, you're going to have them almost all the way to the end. I like to get ones that can give me some tools, weapons, armor. But really at the beginning, you can switch them out if you need to. So at the beginning, just grab what you can grab. So the next step is going to be start blocking them in, because with their beds here and the workstations here, they're going to want to be in this area. So we got 3 from the end here, 3 from the end here. And to make sure you got the right size, from your beds, you go out in 8 in all directions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. If you have a big enough spot that you know of or you think, put the beds first and build everything off of that. That's kind of what I actually prefer to do. Otherwise it's weird counting. But let's grab all of our fences and start laying them down. And so in the end, you don't want any villagers getting out, so you put fences all over all their workstations. They'll still be able to use them. Don't worry about it. And you can have up to 3 netwits and it still works, but you know, you might want to accidentally see that they have an accident. And this is an area where we want to make sure we remove all these blocks behind this fence, because mobs can easily break into this. See, watch them do it. Get in there. And we got little kids running around already because, of course, we've put so many beds down. Okay, now we need to start building the section where the golems will spawn in. So we put fences on the back or the front on this side of that row of beds. And we need double. That way villagers can't jump on their beds and jump over in and get themselves killed and cause problems. Oh, look, kitty's already spawning. So after we get our fences here, we want to make sure we get out to 8, because that's how far water will go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The water will go that far. So we want to dig a trench here. This building might have been a little misinformed because the lava will set a lot of this on fire. Terracotta will be fine. But we want blocks here, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our blocks here. I want to make sure we have 9 of them starting at that point. So this part kind of sticks out just a little bit. Perfect. I want to clear some of this stuff out. Use water. Put one here and here. That creates a water source there. You can pick it up and start doing the rest of them. It gets pushed to this. Now we're going to need this to drop off there. And we're going to put a water here and a water not there. So I hate too tall grass. We go to the middle, put a couple buttons, because as we all know, buttons stop everything in the world. We put our chest there. Hoppers there. And campfires there. And then over that spot, we put our bar here. Okay, now while it's becoming night and our villagers can all go to sleep, so there shouldn't be any more out there. And we still may want to encourage that guy to go out. I said there shouldn't be any more out there. Go to bed. What's wrong with you? You're going to die. Also, I'll throw some torches up around here. Oh, we got this guy. Oh no, our nitwit's being killed by zombies. Oh no. Well, yep, you got yourself stuck out there, kid. Remember, early on, you don't have any of these traded with. It's okay to let a couple of them go. I'm going to throw a couple of spots of carpet so I can jump in and out. Okay, well, while he's having fun with his little friends there, let's go ahead and put the rest of this fencing in. Every mob in this game is the smartest thing in the world. Okay, so let's put our fencing in here. And to make sure that our cats stay down there and we get our string, we put those there. We can still open up the chest, no problem. And then we get up here, we're going to put our signs in. Look at that creeper over there. Just like, what's going on, guys? Don't mind me, just creeping. And then we take our buttons and put them up here. And we put our lava in here. I like to do it, let's see. It flows like 4. So we put it at the third one in. 1, 2, and 3. Don't fall in there. And now we go and say goodbye to our little friend because he got into the village. But you've probably already killed him, so you can get iron for a bucket. He's gone. We don't want this fool. We don't want this fool. And we need to make all of this path blocks. Now, because this takes much longer in-game while you're playing early game, once you have everything marked off, go ahead and do this part, even before you get all the villagers locked in. That way you make sure that golems don't spawn in here. Like that guy, we got to go take care of another one. The rates of this iron farm aren't going to be comparable to like some of the crazy ones that are out there. This design was actually something an old guy came up with while on a stream, just kind of thinking out loud. And I took it and ran with it, and I think it's a really good idea. I've used, like I said, I've used it in hardcore. I've used it in the new world on Metarock we're doing. Because especially early game, like if you get the right villager trades, you got infinite emeralds, you got infinite food, you got diamond tools and armor and weapons, and you got infinite iron. And once it starts, you have so much of it. And if you see that, we've already got iron coming in. So now you want to make sure that your villagers are all, I almost said eaten up, are all well fed. So you come out here, you give someone some carrots, make sure that they share with each other. And it'll take a couple of days. Basically, this will start producing max rates once you have all 20 villagers in and at least 3/4 of them have worked at the workstations. But once you have the first 10 in and the first 8 of them have worked at the workstations, you'll start getting singular golems just like we saw there. And so this rotten flesh. This collects the iron, the poppies, and because the cats will only spawn in there as well, and usually they can't get out. Sometimes they do. Don't worry about it. They disappear. They'll get pushed down here. They won't be able to get out of the fence, and the campfires will burn them up, and you'll get free string too, which is good for early game fishing and also having a bow, so you can kill things long distance instead of getting killed yourself. One of the many reasons this is a hardcore friendly design. I also like to have at least 2 barrels, maybe more. I think I got 3 here, because they're good on-site storage without having to worry about extra chests. Standard villager rules apply. You don't want any beds or workstations within, 64 to 100 blocks of this, or else you'll stretch out your village and the iron golems will spawn randomly. You want to make sure that they spawn only in this section. Our village is centered around these beds. They don't spawn any further out than 8 in any direction from the beds, and so this is the only spawning spots they have. And when nighttime hits, you can see how many villagers you still need. Just a few. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Might want to grab some more carrots and feed them. And like I said, it doesn't hurt to add some torches to the outside of this, just to make sure that things aren't spawning in too close when you're wandering off somewhere else. Now you see this fool stuck in here like I said he might? In my experience, he will stand there until he grows up, and then you break his bed, and he'll link to his workstation and run off. And sometimes he won't do that, so you just gotta keep the bed broken until he does. Villagers are the worst. What's the matter, fellas? You stuck? Because you're not all that bright? In your own time. Like, you know you're not really stuck, right? There you go. Oh, you think you're still stuck? Okay, you might be stuck. You got a pole going through your head. Oops, you got pushed over there. With a golem, friend. Listen, villagers are replaceable. You hear that, you too? You might want to get unstuck now. And as you're going through, and if you don't like what they've got to offer here... Although, dang! Projectile protection 4 and unbreaking 3? That's a good guy. Lock him in. If you don't like him, you can break the workstation, reset him, put it back in. And there we go. We've got all of our villagers adults. They're slowly working at workstations. What I like to do is I'd like to make sure I have at least one shepherd villager, then make sure he trades for red dye. And that way I can sell the poppies from rare emeralds too. At a certain point, it doesn't matter, but early game, you want all the emeralds you can get, especially if you're buying really great armor for $33 or $33 for 33 emeralds. And there's Mr. Iron Golem. Oh no, it's so hot in here. Who put the lava here where I would fall into it and die? Oh, it's terrible. Oh. Well, it took forever. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching. I haven't put up a tutorial before because it's not my design, it's old guys. I just kind of took it and ran with it. Tweaked it a little bit just to make sure that I get the cats. Really the hardest part about this is finding 2 lava, but once you find a lava pool, usually there's going to be at least 2. You could do this entire farm and not have the lava yet and just kill them manually while you're waiting to find lava. I'll talk to everyone later. Oh, look at the little kid. Get out of here.